Previously on Corpse Party.
Oh wow, pool time! Heck yeah!
And now our story continues. Hello guys and girls, Voices from the Dark here. Welcome back to more Let's Give Tongues Back to Little Creepy Ghost Children Simulator 2016. So here we go. We found another tongue. We got it from Morishige, who apparently was digging around Susumoto's corpse? Question mark? So we're a bit freaked out, but right now... Hey girl, you want some tongue action?
Give back! Give back!
Okay. This girl's missing an eye. All we got is a tongue. Is that going to be enough? What do we do? Pull out the tongue bag. I mean, it's all we have? I don't know. How can we get your eye back? Wasn't that just pulver? I don't know. Here. Well, I'm not sure if it worked or not. The girl lowers her head and begins rocking slowly back and forth. Yuki? Kano? This is for you. It is yours, isn't it? Offered the spirit Yuki's tongue. That's... Wait, so the tongue we found in the pool belonged to Tokiko, or whatever the name was. Didn't the note near the pool say that that was from a girl who had, like... I don't remember if that said specifically that it was from Scissor Girl. Have I given the wrong tongues? I may have given the wrong tongues, I'm not sure. Dots.
Thank you.
No, it seems to work.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, I think I was wrong. But for a second there I was like, did I mess up? We did it. We did it, Shinosaki. All three of them. All that's left is the girl in the No! No more! Every time I talk to these ghosts, I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to death myself. Hey, I talked to the boy. Do you have any idea what that's like? I keep picturing how I'll look when I'm dead, and I'm not even trying. It just pops into my head all on its own. And it's such a horrible image. I want to go home. I just want to go home. Back to my mom and my sister. And Mochida. Dots. Shinosaki. Alright. Next one is mine then, okay? So just try to pull yourself together. What? Huh. Well, looks like I've got to shake things up a bit. Literally. God damn it. Not again. Oh. This one's big too. Eek! Uh-oh. Oh? Well, we got all this... Uh-oh. Mega Shadow Spirit is back in the infirmary. That's bad. But for what reason? Don't know. Are we switching perspectives again? Oof. Was I knocked out? Or buildings at least? Where am I? Oh my god, it's our classroom! Dots. Dots? Is this our classroom? No foolin'? Are we... Hermagurge! Hermagurge, everybody! Hermagurge. Did we do it? Ayumi? You okay? Shinosaki? Hey, wake up! Dots. She's breathing at least. Shinosaki! Come on, wake up already! Kishi Numa? Who, aha. Pant. What? Take a look around you. I can hardly believe it myself, but here we are. No way. We're back? For real? Is this really our school? It's really real. Check it out, here's my desk. Mine too. It's right here. I can't believe it. It's true. Yeah, we made it. We're home. We're home. Fuck yeah! Suck on that, world! But, what about your friends, though? Did you consider that? Or maybe, boom boom, all my friends are dead. Boom boom, all my friends are dead. They got kicked in the head. All my friends are dead. Let's bail. The needle on the clock in the hall is pointing to 8, and there's not a soul in sight. Okay. Eye me. It's still slightly. Are we really out of the thick of it? I never thought I'd live to see home again. Guess there's no Satoshi or Miss Yui or anyone else, huh? Yeah, that's, guess there's no Satoshi. The shelves are filled with personal effects belonging to the class 2-4 primary and assistant homeroom teacher. Miss Yui even has some cans of cat food in here. We haven't seen Miss Yui in forever. I'm not sure that's the sort of thing she should be storing in the classroom, though. Whatever, that Miss Yui always playing a needle on the clock. There's nobody in the hall. Venturing out in search of others, you find that even the janitor has likely gone home. The lights are out and the halls are pitch black. Only the red glow of the light next to the fire extinguisher offers any respite from the quaint, quiet darkness of the school hallway. Standing around in the darkened corridors of our school building at 8 in the evening just feels so surreal. Yeah, there's like, I don't know, there's something fascinating about the feeling about being in a building sort of after closing time or after normal time, like a school in the evening, or like a mall after everything's like closed and dark and there's nobody there. Like, it's just so, it is surreal. It's so cool. As the thunder and rain grow in intensity, the windows begin to condensate with moisture, turning white in contrast to the corridor sea of black. Is this reality? Is this just fantasy? Was everything up until now just a dream? A really bad one. Where am I right now? What am I doing? Eek! Well, that's not good. What? Shinosaki! What's wrong?
Oh, hey there.
Ah! What the hell is this?
The molesting Shadowman Legion is here.
It's not over, is it? Why isn't it over? Why? Damn it.
Oh, hey. Oh.
It's you.
Did I mess up after all?
No! Go back! Don't come any closer! Oh.
It was a rainy evening after school, just like this one. On the day I was kidnapped. I remember I had a fight with my mom that morning.
Why is she telling us this? I have no idea.
I didn't want to see your face. So after school, I decided that instead of going home, I parked myself in the outdoor walkway for a little and watched the rain. That's when Mr. Yoshikazu showed up. He sat down next to me. I told him all about my fight with Mom, and he listened really closely and just kept saying, uh-huh, uh-huh. He was sick and couldn't speak much, you see, but he was a very kind man. I really liked him. But then...
Dots.
You two are nice people. I'm so sorry.
She's so tiny. She must be 5th grader. Yuki Kano, right?
Thank you for what you did back there. For making the effort to help those of us who were killed in that school.
Didn't we succeed though? So why are you still here?
No, you didn't.
But we returned your tongues. We gave you back your ability to speak out. And we even got your murderer to repent for what he did. Is it just that you can't forgive him? No matter what?
Appeasing us isn't about forgiveness. It doesn't matter if we forgive or not. Repentance is between the criminal and the victim. It's the sole act capable of moving us. And we exist as fragments of the sacred ground upon which heavenly host is sealed. I believe that moving us is your best course of action. But it's not enough. His repentance just wasn't enough.
So you're saying his words, the words spoken by the doll, weren't good enough to appease you?
That's not... That's...
Huh? So what then? Why do you feel the need to trap one innocent stranger after another in that godforsaken place? You child spirits are the ones who summoned us there, aren't you?
That's not true.
The hell do you mean by that?
No, we're just the cogs that hold the closed spaces together.
But you killed Susumoto, didn't you? Wait! What? Huh? Let's hear her out.
I'm just glad I was able to get even the two of you back to safety.
Why the hell are you suddenly so concerned about us? I would just take it and leave it at that, Yoshiki. I'd be like, alright, you want to help us out now? I'm fine with it. I wouldn't yell in her face. I heard about a situation like this from my sister once. A lost soul whose life was ended violently and abruptly, leaving her with a mountain of worries and regrets. It's kind of like stopping short at the edge of madness, with all sorts of thoughts and feelings swirling around in your head. Your kindly nature and your sudden hatred and panic begin to spin around and round, and you just start acting out without any sort of control. Your sister is some kind of medium or something? Yeah, something like that. Wouldn't surprise me. Runs in the family. So what you're saying is, this little girl and the creepy little girl we met before are two sides of the same coin? I feel for you, I really do, so please, please, bring the rest of them back. Mochida, Miss Yui, and everyone else too. Bring them all back home. Come on, you can do it, right?
I don't think that's possible anymore.
Why not?
Those closed spaces have eaten a lot of innocent souls. Far too many, in fact. The grudges of those who died there have filled every last corner of them. There's no room left. And because the agony and pain has nowhere else to go, it's begun feeding on the minds of souls like us who are bound there. It won't be long before I turn back into a vengeful spirit who attacks people like you without mercy.
Dots. So, we're going to lose you as an ally then?
Dots.
So why don't you just hurry up and bring them home right now? Isn't there any way for us to save Machida and the others?
There may be one way.
What is it?
I think you already know. You have to return to the closed spaces. Find all 4 of us Heavenly Host serial kidnapping and murder victims, and put us all to rest. Then the closed spaces won't have their cogs anymore, so they'll begin to fall apart. And you just might get your friends back.
You expect us to go back? And this time, instead of just having one person left to appease, we have to go back to the drawing board and appease all 4 of you? Why couldn't you tell us the reason our previous efforts weren't good enough? What is there to hide?
It's just something I don't want to remember. But if you really want to know, I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything that happened.
Yuki's spirit gently took hold of Ayumi's hand, and in an instant their 2 beings seemed to merge together into a single mind. What's going on? Shinosaki? It hurts. It hurts. What are you doing, Yuki? Huh? What happened to me? Didn't I pass out? So why am I fully aware right now? I can't see a thing and I can't move. It's like that feeling you get when you're really tired. Sleep paralysis, I think. Well, we're about to have a bad day. Where? Why can't I move? Okay, so we cut from that back to us reading. Sachiko Shinosaki, the little girl in the red dress, and the only survivor of the horrific murders that occurred in Heavenly Host Elementary School. Following the incident, Sachiko's family fled from the area, moving to another prefecture to escape the frightful memories that remained here. Strangely, however, I've been unable to locate any other records of the Shinosaki family. No matter where I look, the only information I could find about them comes from the newspaper reports on the Heavenly Host murders. Granted, when an elementary school becomes a stage for a grisly incident such as this, perpetrated by none other than the principal's own son, it stands to reason that the scandal would serve as the primary focus for public interest, with all other details fading into the background. So of course, after learning that Sachiko was safe, further news of her whereabouts was largely ignored in favor of the media circus surrounding the school. But there's more to it than that. People weren't just uninterested in learning of Sachiko's history or whereabouts. There was simply no data to be had. I can't move my body because of sleep paralysis, I guess. But I could clearly see the room I'm in now. There's 1 boy and 2 girls in here, aside from myself. Well, looks like you've taken the spot of Yuki in the past. I recognize them. They're the children who were killed in Heavenly Host during that incident. But they're still alive. Unfortunately, they're all bound hand and foot, and just sprawled out on the floor. And so am I. And that's the real reason I can't move.
Somebody, please save me. No, stop. No, please, no.
Eyes.
God, no, I can't see. Now I'm blindfolded. I can't see a thing that's happening to me. And it says my hands and feet are tied up. I can't remove the blindfold either. That just makes everything so much worse. I guess because I can't see, I begin to listen more intently. The helpless cries of the other children echo off the walls of the cramped room. I'm so scared it feels like my head's going to explode. What are you doing to me? Why am I blindfolded? Untie me! Cut the ropes! I want to be able to use my hands and feet. Please! Please!
I kept begging and pleading, but all I heard in response was the man walking away from me. In order. Okay.
In order? Yeah!
That is some profane language.
I've never heard screaming like this before. It's pure primal terror, cutting through the air like a perfect sine wave. It's the boy at the end. It feels like he's being screaming for an eternity. I think he's being killed right now. My God, what the hell is he doing to him? No one deserves this. Why isn't God allowing him to fall unconscious so he doesn't have to suffer? It's been at least half an hour now. Those inhuman screams of a young boy being ripped apart from the inside have finally come to a halt. No! 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 No!
Without even a single moment of silence, the first of the girls in line is the next to scream for her life, and the symphony goes on.
Oh, go! Go! God, I can't take any more of this. I'm losing my mind. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it! Is it still going on? Oh, come on, just die already. Die already? God, what is wrong with me? You know what? I don't care. Just get it over with and leave me in peace. Finally, after hearing a sound like a heavy object being dropped, the noises stopped and the room grew quiet again.
Thump, thump, thump.
Those footsteps are getting closer. All my hair standing on end at this point. Everything below my stomach feels like it's been frozen, like I've suddenly been stricken with severe diarrhea. In order? God, why am I relieved by the silence? The kid next to me just died. Which means it's my turn now. Someone's got me by the hair. They're pulling my head up. and taken off my blindfold, which means I get to see the face of my killer.
The 4 missing children were found in a basement room at Heavenly Host Elementary School, unused and officially sealed since the building's construction. When authorities entered, they were greeted with an inhumanly horrific sight. Based upon the evidence at hand, the murder weapon was determined to be a pair of large sewing scissors found in the hands of the accused. Investigators suspected some hesitation on the man's part, however, as the deceased victim's wounds did not indicate that his full strength had been used. Nonetheless, he had clearly acted with extreme malicious intent. The official's cause of death for the 3 murdered children had been listed as loss of blood following removal of the tongue. But the actual state of affairs was not quite so clinical, nor even so pleasant, if you can believe it. The following details have been extrapolated from information previously unreleased to the public, or at least previously unreported by news outlets. These details of the crime are based on the official police testimony of Sachiko Shinosaki herself. Evidently, the victims were bound, blindfolded, and spaced out on the floor. Check. Then killed one by one. One was repeatedly stabbed in the abdomen with the aforementioned pair of sewing scissors, then had many of his internal organs forcefully dug out. That would be the boy. His discarded innards were found partially buried beneath the earthen floor of the basement room. Another was stabbed in the head dozens upon dozens of times, to such an extent that all flesh and bone above her jawline was essentially minced away. That would be the next girl in line.
With my blindfold removed, the sight that appeared before me was more horrific than anything I could have possibly imagined. The person staring back at me, brandishing a blood-soaked pair of sewing scissors, wasn't a large man from earlier at all. It was one of the children. It was a little girl, her face dyed red with the blood of her victims. She was staring intently at me, with soulless gray eyes, and then she just started giggling. She was opening and closing the bloodied scissors over and over again, and the sound kept echoing through the room. Then, she took those dull, rusty, thoroughly blood-soaked blades and slowly brought them closer and closer to my left eye. How? Why? Why is it you? No! 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 Ah! Ah! The third victim was stabbed in the left eye an indeterminate number of times. Sorry, I'm having issues reading. There's something in my left eye. Oh. That would be the Yuki girl. And now apparently Ayumi. Until her eyeball became soup-like in consistency. She was eventually just left like that, slowly bleeding to death in horrible agony. Strangely, it was only after these mutilations had already been inflicted that the killer went back and severed the victims' tongues. So, he never touched the final girl, because the final girl was the killer all along. Learning the truth about these proceedings is shocking, even to me,
and makes it nearly impossible to accept the murderer as anything but a monster. And bearing witness to every moment of this was a 7-year-old girl named Sachiko. In many ways, she's the most pitiable and long-suffering of them all. Poor Sachiko. But it was through her tearful, frightened testimony that Yoshikazu Yanagihori was officially charged. Now, going back to the hunt for information on this unfortunate girl's whereabouts, it was her words that ultimately led to Yoshikazu's sentencing. Therefore, it comes as no real surprise that sensitive information pertaining to her and her family would be withheld. That's to be expected. What's not expected, however, is that there's not even the slightest trace of this information left to find. It's as if it simply never existed. Therefore, I cannot help but consider alternate possible explanations, and I remind you, this is mere conjecture. But one question keeps nagging at the back of my mind. Was Yoshikazu Yanagihori really the murderer of the 3 victims? Is it possible this crime was not actually perpetrated by him at all? Think about it. In his final days, Yoshikazu was incapable of communicating with others through speech. And despite his childlike reversion, he had always been a personable and friendly man. As the saying goes, he wouldn't have hurt a fly. Ugh, that just reminds me of the ending to Psycho. Ugh. All his relatives, friends, and neighbors confirmed as much. Shocked to hear that such a kindly man could commit these unconscionable atrocities. He certainly had no motive for the crime either. There was nothing for him to gain from it. Then again, he may simply have lost his mind. Look at his father. It was around this same time that Principal Takamine Yanagihori suddenly began speaking in tongues and acting in a most peculiar way. Not to mention scribbling incomprehensible gibberish all over his walls, as if possessed. He seemed frightened of someone and would often be found crouching in the corner of his office, moaning and thrashing when visitors came by. If he could wind up in such a beleaguered state with no warning, then perhaps so too could his son. The Yanagihoris, huh? I believe that we're looking at a curse, far more powerful than anything man could devise. From the time it opened its doors to the day it closed them forever. Heavenly Host Elementary School's sealed basement room has existed as some form of cursed grounds. And to find the underlying cause, we must go back beyond the infamous kidnapping and murder incident. Back a whole 20 years. I believe I may have found a clue that could shed some light on the situation. It may be a bit far-fetched as leads go, but it's a lead nonetheless. Regrettably, since Heavenly Host was not only closed down but demolished altogether and another school built in its place, it's no longer possible to investigate the basement room directly. But my protege has found what may be the next best thing. Something that could make the impossible possible once more. Preparations are being made to pursue this lead even now. Be sure not to miss the next installment. It may be the scoop of a lifetime. Kokibiki in 2003. That's right, the plot thickens! Continued in Chapter 5! So that was a lot of things revealed. First of all, Sachiko is the killer. Second of all, a curse. The principal went mad. His son went mad. Second of all, Ayumi. Third of all, will Naomi and Satoshi bang? So many questions running through my heart. In the next one. In the next episode, guys and girls, we are going to go back and we're going to get all the dead ends. So you're going to get to see lots of people dying and it's going to be great. I actually failed twice before finding the right end. So we have 3 extra deaths, probably. Ooh, getting caught by some kids here and there and, well, maybe the pool. So we'll see when the time comes. So tune in next time when we won't start Chapter 5. We'll finish up Chapter 4. So have a still good day, take care, and stay awesome. But most importantly, everybody, stay dark. Goodbye!